Using Prosizes Room Mock-up is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break, and we have a special guest beginning now.
Thank you,
Hello,
Vanilla.
everyone. So I'm excited to have a special guest here today. He's not only is he a photographer, but he's also the creator of a really cool software program that allows you to look at what your images will look like if you're hanging them up on your wall in your home. I met him and his family. Well, his wife and his family. I'll call Brian, you're part of your family. I met them in England at the photography show, and I thought the knowledge this man has on photography and on being able to take your images and just do creative things with them was something special that I wanted to share with you guys. So please welcome Mark Pollitt. Mark, welcome. Oh, sorry, Mark. There we go, right there. And
Thank you for that welcome and wonderful intro. And I'm going to share my screen right now.
All right. Yep, as soon as you share your screen, I'll swap it over. One moment.
Right into my presentation.
All right.
Here we go. Right now, I'm going to share with you a review. I'm going to show you a review that I received from Michelle Collier that's in the room tonight.
Hey, good morning. I've been using Mark software, and for me, it's been a game changer. I've always enjoyed my photography, but was really unsure about how to sell it and how to get my images into sizes that I could show on Etsy, and then whatever those image sizes were, how to print them. And Mark software makes it super easy. All I have to do is edit my picture the way I want to, export it, and without even having to know much about Photoshop, open up Photoshop, tell it where that picture is that I edited, and it runs through things very fastly, and it creates exactly the images that I need to post onto my Etsy store so that everybody can see what's there. from the images and how it may look in a room. And then for me, once they've selected that and choose to buy it, I can go in and it also creates those exact files that I need to send off to a print house to have printed. So I could stick them on the cloud and I could be anywhere in the world. Someone orders something that I've put up there using the mockups. I go to my cloud, say, yep, that's the image I want, shoot it off to the house. It's printed and I can send it off to the customer. So it super makes my life easier. And then I can really see myself, opening up my store brand new and starting to load things up and finally sell my artwork that everybody seems to love so much. Thank you, Mark, for making it easy for me to do this.
And Michelle is in the room today. And would you like to say anything on that, Michelle?
Had to find
What's
the
Michelle's
unmute
last
button.
name?
I found the unmute button, yeah.
It's actually Michelle Collier. You got me there?
Yep, I have you
We
on.
got you.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I've been using Mark software, and initially it was just using the Prosizes and the ability to put everything there. But then since then, because I tend to see things in non-traditional sizes, being able to create my own mock-up rooms and my own sizes with and without frames, because a lot of what I do is with frames, canvas frames. So it makes it even more user-friendly and customizable, so I can get what I want out of the software simply. So I'm liking it a lot.
Thank you, Michelle. Well, again, I'm Mark Pollitt. I started in my professional photography about 5 years ago, and I started taking pictures. And right here on this picture, you see this picture won me the Fine Art Photographer of the Year with the British Institute of Professional Photography. And I'm also a member of the Royal Photographic Society and the Professional Photographers of America. This next picture right here was my first sale, and that was to a person in Bahrain. He saw this picture and he says, Mark, this is wonderful. I'd like to get this for my wife as a present. And it was my first ever sale, and it sold for over $1,000. So that was that. And incidentally, I sell on a site called Etsy, and I've sold over 85 images on that site. And I load up my site with my mock-up sizes diagrams, and I've sold 85 in this year alone. And these are a couple of my best sellers. So right, I'm going to show you now exactly how the program works. First of all, once you've downloaded the software and installed it, you will go to File and Scripts. And you see Prosizes right here. It will bring up a dialog box, and you can create your customized print sizes that Michelle was talking about. And Michelle actually puts her customized sizes in there, because you can insert and delete them as you go along. Any size you want, and it will create them print sizes ready for your print lab. I include over 60 diagrams, mock-ups as I call them. And this one is your canvas room mock-ups in landscape, your canvas room mock-ups in the portrait, and your room mock-ups in the square, and also, your canvas room mock-ups, and also there you go, your room mock-ups in landscape, portraits, and squares. And you can create triptychs, and you can keep the aspect ratio. So we're going to demonstrate how this works. we're going to create room mock-ups in landscapes. So we're going to browse your image, and it's on the desktop. It's under Prosizes, under Designs, and we're going to process the one that Vanelli had the opportunity to preview during the NEC show in Birmingham, and it's this image right here in my background. So we'll press that, and we'll press open, and we'll just start. And you see what happens. It brings up the picture and it mocks them into all these wonderful diagrams here. And the process takes less than a minute. It takes about 5 seconds per picture. And at the end of the process, you will get a message that the process is complete. Would you like to add anything, Brian? He's muted.
Yeah, you muted, Brian?
Are you muted, Brian?
You hit the space bar? No. Yeah. Yeah, you're still muted.
So anyway, this saves you hours and hours of time, because if you have to do this by yourself in Photoshop, doing this manually, it would take you hours of time. And, you know, it just takes a matter of a minute and the process will be complete. Are you still muted, Brian?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've got it now. I've been testing Mark's software from its earliest stages. I know a lot of people are not familiar with Photoshop, and some people are very familiar with it. I'm very familiar, and I used Photoshop before using Mark's software. And it would, if you had an image that you wanted to resize and make mock-ups, it would take you probably about 45 minutes to an hour to do a series of different sizes, 10 by 8, 11 by 14, 16 by 20, 24 by 36, to prepare all of those and place them into the background to the mock-up. This program is fast, and it also, it's not dependent on size. It will deal with any size that you want to put into it.
Thank you, Brian. And this process right here took me hours and hours, and just now it's complete. So let's take a look at the results. Open, it's not. Okay, open. So it will do all your sizes. So now, by, you know, all the different sizes right here, and we can view that. And it will give you all your room mock-ups and landscapes. So let's just take a look at one of those.
Okay.
There you go. That's one of them.
So this is helpful if you wanted to see if it'll fit in your room.
That's
right?
it.
So you could take a picture
actually,
of your actual living room and bring that into the program.
you can actually take a picture of a client's living room. If a client has a living room and they would like to actually see what the process will take, if they provided you a copy of their living room, it would do that as well. Yes, of course.
Nice.
Yes.
The other thing is that it's got considerable value in commercial photography, where you have a client that perhaps wants to see how their building might look with certain changes, and you can actually create that for them, given the right information. There is one image I don't think Mark has shown you of a billboard at the side of a highway, and that's great for showing how an advert might look.
I can show you that on my website. Yeah.
I think it's a particularly important tool also for allowing you to look at how an image is going to appear if you resize it, and you might decide, oh, I actually really don't like that crop now anymore. I'll make a change. And also it helps you discover some things that maybe you hadn't seen in the image. I had one particular image that I ran through it, and it was a rocky shoreline, and it produced a portrait image that I had not envisaged. So it's, as well as doing the mock-ups, it's actually quite a creative tool, just to stimulate your vision, your photographic vision.
We have a quick question from Robert. He asked, I'm sorry, one moment. Here we go. Yeah, Robert asked, what are the units for measurement in the press? Is it inches or is it centimeters?
We have two versions available, inches and centimeters.
Gotcha. And then
so
Richard's asking, do you need Photoshop, or could you use Photoshop Elements or Affinity or one of those other programs?
No, you need Photoshop, and it's a script that runs within Photoshop, and it's real easy to use. All right. Yeah, so it's real easy to use in Photoshop. It's like 1, 2, 3, easy install. It just takes you a matter of a minute, and there's videos on how it's installed and exactly how to use all the different processes. And
awesome. Let's do another example of one. Yeah, could you pull up another image? What was it? Yeah, could you pull up a library of images real quick?
Yeah, I will. Okay. Let me minus that real quick. Okay, let's look at this. Because I've already processed this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see the rooms.
Yeah, so we're going to go through all of these. Okay. These are different canvases. So it makes all these different canvases. Okay, I'm just trying to, hold on just a moment. Okay, so you can you see?
Yeah, so if you just make that screen larger, click on the green icon. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so there you go. So these are your canvases. So it makes all these different canvases all ready to go. And you can, I'll show the folder just in a few moments, and all these are your canvases, yeah? All right, so let's go back. Let's look at this folder, open. Okay, we'll do that, open a new tab. So it'll actually take these are the portrait ones. Yep.
Now, Mark, because it is script-based, will programs like Neo be able to take advantage of it or not?
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask my programmer about that. I believe
And then,
that is a good
yeah,
possibility.
do you have
and
an
I'm
image
hoping that-
of just a single image in a room? I thought I saw that.
yeah, I'm going to do the rooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
All right, and I'm going to run through a couple of those. In this process here,
Yeah, now that gave a good example of what it would look like, with all three different sizes.
yeah, this one, yep, that's a good example of all the different 3 sizes. Now you can have. I'm going to go over the mock-up generator in a moment, which will enable you to download from thousands of images from websites like FreePic, Pixabay, and Shutterstock, where you can create these templates and make your own rooms. And that's a free add-on right now to my program. So I include 60 plus mock-ups that's all ready to go in landscape, portrait, squares, and also in canvases.
See, now that triptych, go back to the triptych. Yeah. See the triptych, yeah, that
That's
right
a
there. Yeah, that triptych is a perfect example of why I like the software, is to where I could actually see what it would look like in my room.
Yes.
And now it's showing you, these have to be 40 by 90, which means, is the whole thing 40 by 90, or is it each individual?
No, it's the whole thing is 40 by 90. So it actually creates 3 panels, 40 by 30.
Got it.
Yep. So the height is 40, the width is 90. So each individual panel is a 40 by 30.
Could I share a screen for a moment? Is that possible?
Just a moment. Let me finish going through these.
Okay.
And then this particular mock-up right here, I took this mock-up, the blank one without anything in the room, and I took my room generator, the mock-up generator, to create that. And that's just from a blank, so it creates that, and it does that in seconds. I'll show that to you. Go ahead, Brian, you can share a screen. I stopped sharing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just make sure
Yeah.
I'm on the. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Now, Brian.
I'm sharing, but
Let me tell you, folks, it does this in less than a minute for all the 60 mock-ups that I have. And
All right. So
I
here's
just
Mark's
wanted
screen.
to.
yeah, that's your screen.
That's my screen. So I just wanted to. It was to follow up on what you've been saying about.
I can see Easy Live Auction, Brian.
Oh, are you seeing a different screen? Okay.
Yeah, close up. I was wondering where we were heading with this. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so how about you close your I want to close that one window.
And yeah. You
okay, Brian, thank you.
yeah. You should actually have had this one.
Let's see. Okay, there we go.
Okay. And it was as a follow-on from talking about the 3 panels, the triptychs, and seeing them in a room. I just thought I'd show you this. And also following up on the size thing, because 30 by 45 is quite a favorite size of mine, and I actually just insert those sizes into the software when whenever I want to use them. And another one, a 24 by 12. And again, as you'll see on the mock-up there, I've added additional information. This was done earlier on, but it's the same thing. And the 40 by 20.
Got it.
Brilliant.
All right.
Right. So I'm going to come back to share my screen. See what we're
All right.
where we're at. So that's mock-up sizes. Let me share this one. Who is it for? Who is it for? It's ideal for any photographer, any artist, or any designer. So if you're in this room and you've got interest in photography, it's for you, right? So if you want to make money, now is the ideal time to make money selling your work. And if you've got an online shop, maybe from Etsy, or you can use Amazon, Handmade, eBay, and it's ideal because today I've sold another image. I've got a message in, and there's no better feeling in the world. Your computer goes ping, and I know when it goes ping that it's an Etsy sale, and I say, there's another one. There you go. Boom. You know, it's a good feeling, and this is now the best time to do it. So it's ideal for photographers, artists, and designers. It's Photoshop compatible. In my software, it works as a script, right? And we're going to extend it out to other developers like Luminar and Neo. We'll find a way. If there's a way, we can do it. Is that right, Benelli?
Yep. Can you say that one more time? Because I missed that last part.
I said we're gonna try to reach out with the software to Luminar and try to make it work. If you do scripts, we can make it happen. Yes, as a script.
Yeah, that's something we have to talk to developers on.
Yeah.
You and I talked about that before, because that would be ideal if we just find an image you like, click it, and then just say let it run its thing. Even a standalone application on that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, so the majority of the people on here don't usually sell their work. I could see this like Christmas presents, because Christmas is coming up. So imagine, you're at your children's home, and then you take a picture of their walls, or they have them, and you could actually figure out what image you have that'll look really good on that wall.
That's right. That's right. And also, like I said before, it's going to save you valuable processing time, right? There's no better feeling than to select 3 or 4 images and let it run. And by the time you get back having your cup of coffee, your little breaky sandwich, or anything like that, it's ready to go.
Not the whiskey. Yeah.
And as Brian advertised, Brian, that's good. That's a good thing. Now, it saves you time and money. I thought to myself, because I was in a course and learning how to sell on Etsy, and I needed diagrams in order to sell my work, because I started Etsy with no diagrams at all, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I introduced diagrams so people could visualize what a piece of my work would look in a room environment, right? So that's what I did. So it also saves me time and money, because I tried to find someone to do it for me first off, and each image would cost me about $100 to do 10 images in order to go to my Etsy shop. I thought, I'm not having that. I thought, I know what the process is, and we write down a process, make a script, does it, okay? So
You know, Bobby has a good question. Yeah, Bobby, you want to unmute your mic and ask?
Sure. I normally, because of the implied restrictions on cropping to custom dimensions, I crop to either the original dimensions that were, the picture was taken, were made, or the standard dimensions. But there are some images that work best if I use custom dimensions when I crop. How does your script deal with custom dimensions on a photograph?
I'm going to show you that in the mockup generator, because we've got a mockup generator that you can make your custom dimensions and your own rooms templates in order to import into Prosizes, and you use those, and it's a piece of cake. I will show you that one in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, and to recap, it's ideal for any photographer, artist, or designer. It's Photoshop compatible. Everything is customized to fit your needs. It saves time and valuable money, and it processes your images into stunning mockups in seconds. And you can get a copy of that at prosizes.com. Right. So we're going to show you how the mockup generator works. So we'll go to File, and I've got another script. And I'll tell you how this came about. Someone was using my mockup generator, and it may have been Michelle. Was it you, Michelle? And you wanted custom sizes, custom.
Yeah. Yeah, I want a 9x10 and a 9x16, I think.
Yeah.
Different size.
And actually, I said, well, we're gonna make that. So I outsourced it and got it made, and sent it off to Michelle. And I thought, well, why don't we do the same principle as I did with the Prosizes? So we created an image to mockup generator to make your own custom backups for your own sizes, right? So this is the desired ratio. So whatever size you can put in your size. Now, I had a question a minute ago, and what is the size that you would like to have?
Bobby, throw out a size.
Give me a size, a height and width.
It depends on the photograph. I'd have to look. I really restrict myself to normal dimensions because it's harder to get them print. I don't have a printer, so it's harder to get them printed commercially if you crop to non-standard sizes.
All right. So anyway, you can put any size in this box right here, any size that you want, any size. So for instance, I'll put a 24 by 36. Yep. Oh. And you can add a frame. You can add a frame.
Or you put 936
by 36. Now, add a frame. The percentage of the frame, I like about 4% of the actual size of the image. Right. So this box right here, you know those, when you go on the internet and you know how you can find what color you want, and it gives you a 6-digit code right there. When you do that, does everything? Yeah, and the hex color code, and you put the hex color code in there, okay? And it also creates a shadow right or left. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to find a file, and I'm going to browse to my desktop, and I'm going to browse Mockup Generator, and I'm going to, these are the ones that you might download from the internet. I'm just trying to move it just real quick so I can see. Maybe move that over there. Can you see that? So these are the ones you might download as blank canvases, and you want to save them in JPEGs. Yep. So I've done quite a few here. And those are included in that. So we can do any one we want. Let's do the brick wall. Okay, so I open that. And then that is the output folder to where the mockups are going to reside. Yep. So you click OK. All right. So a diagram comes up and you click OK. So that's a 40 by 90 and you move it exactly where you want it. See there. Close that, go to cat C. Okay, and it's saved to the given output folder. And that is what you use in prosizes.com. You move that particular mockup into the mockups in your program in mockup in the Prosizes folder that's called mockups. And it's just as simple as that. It just takes seconds. Any questions?
Yeah. So wouldn't you agree? It's better to excuse me. It's better to stick to regular sizes than custom sizes, just to have them printed. This way, you're not paying extra. You know, like if something were 24 by 36.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to have 24 by 36, another 24 by 36, another 24 by 36. That's so much easier for a triplet and measure everything accordingly. It'd be cheaper to print that way, correct?
It would be cheaper to print regular sizes that are recognized by the print labs, yes.
Yeah.
But what happens if a customer wants a different size, right? Because that happened to me on my Etsy shop. A customer got back to me and it was a peculiar size, and he says, Mark, I want your Lone Tree Sunrise because we grew up in that area and I want to present it in this frame, but this frame was an off size, a different size. So I said, yes. So I used my mockup generator to create that frame size and show it to him how it would look over a fireplace. It came back to me and says, oh, that's brilliant, Mark. I want to go ahead and order that. Because there are times that a customer may want a different size than what the print house has in their regular sizes. Yeah. So it can do any size. Mock-up.
And I'm going to let Jim has a question. Hey, Jim, I'm going to let you ask him. Fire away.
Okay. Yeah, my question is, once you have put in a size and you've displayed it and somebody says, yes, I will buy that size, does this program automatically output the size so that I could then send that to a printer?
Yes. In Prosizes, you can create your own customized print sizes, any one that you want. And that's fine. And then we're ready to go for your print lab.
Okay, so it will actually send it out of this program in that size so that that file is all ready to send to a printer.
It will save them in, yes, it will save them in folders. Okay, let me get out of Photoshop real quick. Okay, because quit Photoshop. Okay. Okay, now, in Tremendous, right here, and I'm going to view that as a list. Right. Can you see my list? And this, you simply drag Tremendous up into your Dropbox, or if you want to keep it on your computer, you can do that. And it's got all your sizes right here ready to go. These are the ones I use in my Etsy shop. These are the ones. So a customer orders from the Etsy. It's these print sizes are ready to go. So I'll go on to Bay Photo in the United States, Loxley Color if somebody orders from the UK, or if somebody orders a canvas, easycanvas.com, and everything's ready to go. So I just shoot this size off here to the print lab, and it's ready. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
And you may not sell those sizes, but these are some common ones. You might not sell those. If your website calls for different sizes, you just go into the program and create the customized sizes that you want.
Great. All right, let's open it up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and then I'll add you to the list in a couple minutes. All right. I'm going to use Don. One moment. All right, Don.
Yeah. Well,
And fire away. Oh, you're muted. Yeah.
Firstly, Mark, congratulations on your software. It's quite intriguing. I plan on selling some photos on Etsy at some time. And
yes.
As someone was stating in the chat, that if this, I don't have Photoshop, so I wouldn't be able to utilize it at this point. But if it came out in a standalone or as something that could be utilized in conjunction with Neo, it sounds quite opportune. So I look forward to it. Great presentation. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Yep, we have one more. I have Jim.
Yeah, I did go to your website, and when I went to the checkout page just to see what the cost was, I noticed it's not in dollars. Do you pay in a different currency, or how do we go about doing that if we were to buy that?
In the United States, it will transfer into your dollars, yes? So you can pay by Stripe, or you can pay by PayPal, and it'll transfer into dollars, yeah, for you. So that's that, yeah.
All right, thanks.
And if you need any help on installing the software, I do provide one-on-one support if you need help. It comes with instructional videos exactly how to use it and how to install it and how to and another thing, we are doing an Etsy guide, yes, so we will help you, which will help you sell on Etsy as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
So Etsy.
Okay, we have one. We have one last question, Dale.
Yeah, Mark. The question for you is one of the challenges of printing different size photos is the crop. Now you've gone ahead and cropped them, but can you adjust the crop so that if you're doing, you've got a photo in a regular size and then you're going to something 16:9, obviously you want to be able to adjust that crop. And can you do that?
Yes, there's a check box in Prosizes and you check aspect ratio, right? What it does, it will make sure the aspect ratio is correct, and it works good on some images, especially landscape images. If landscape images is cropped out and you've got some room for it to crop, so it will crop in, keeping the aspect ratio the same.
But can you adjust what it decides in terms of what it cuts? Can you adjust it? So let's say that you're going to a 16:9 and it's chopping off the sky and you want the sky instead of the bottom. Can you adjust those things?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
It does a general crop and it crops it in, and it takes the sides and it crops it in. It works well on some images, like especially that tree I showed you, because it's really good. Brian, did you want to enhance on that?
I was just going to point out that in terms of Prosizes, it's fair to say that it takes the image that you have prepared. So assuming you've got it cropped, toned, everything the way you want it to look, and then if it's a 12 by 24 by 36, and you decide that you want to have a slightly different crop, a different size, a different ratio, not a different crop, a different ratio, it will squeeze it or stretch it slightly. So you have to look kind of carefully at your images and decide that for that size, it works really well. For that size, yeah, well, okay. And for certain sizes, no, that definitely doesn't work so well. If you take the image that's behind Mark just now, if you were to turn that into a panorama that was 10 high by 30 wide, it would really look quite strange, because it would flatten the mountain. It would no longer be as high as that. So to answer your question, apart from the cropping aspect that you can select, if you haven't selected that, it will squeeze or stretch.
Yeah, so you want to make sure to keep kind of in the same aspect ratios if you're going to look at it, as opposed to being able to look in advance of deciding, can I do this size?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, I actually think that's one of the great values of the program, that it allows you to have a very easy run at almost you would call test cropping. Although if you take the original image, whether you're shooting on DX or full frame, if you stick with that crop that the camera has produced, you can then play around. And if you find that, it's stretching it a bit, you might find it's okay.
There you go. That's a stretched image, taking that picture, and I've sold that aspect ratio, and it's just by not clicking the keep aspect ratio, it's stretched it out. Person don't know.
Looks good.
We know, but the person that's buying it, and that's what they like. They might like a picture. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example of what it would look like stretched out.
Great. All right, guys. Well, hey, Mark, thank you so much for your time. If you don't mind, just stick around for a few minutes, where we're going to have the Ask Me Anything segment. All right. For everyone else, thanks so much for joining us, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.